Okay, before we move on to our next topic, which is logarithms, I wanted to show you a quick example like we just looked at. I mentioned natural exponential functions. Remember, on your TI calculator, I want to show you your natural number e is above your ln natural log key on the left-hand side here. You see the key that says log, log key, and then there's a key that says ln, which is actually a natural logarithm key. But if you hit the second button in ln, you can see here, you can put in your e model and say we want to graph e to the x, right, our parent model for all natural exponential functions, which again flattens out at y equals 0. You see your horizontal asymptote, and you can see again here's your y-intercept at 0, 1, but you see as it goes negative infinity, it gets closer and closer to 0. It won't ever get there. The range is all values greater than 0, domain being all real numbers. But again, you can look at your natural models, E. So if you're trying to graph natural functions, you can easily do so in your calculator. All right, we're going to move on to the next topic, which is the inverse of exponentials, which is logarithms. Now, logarithms are basically exponents. Logs are exponents. So I'm going to look at our logarithmic function, log base a of x. So here we've got a function, y equal to log base a of x. With that said, we do have a base, just like we talked about with our exponentials. That base there of a, now it has the same restrictions. Our base a is some number greater than 0, but not equal to 1. And x is what we're taking a log of. Now, what we take log of x, of course, is our input variable, our domain variable. With that said, one thing I want to make note with logarithms, we do have restrictions on x. X must be greater than 0. You cannot take the log of 0, and you cannot take the log of a negative. So x must be greater than 0. So our base restriction a again must be greater than 0 and not equal to 1. So again, no different than we had with our exponential models. But now with our logarithmic model. Now with that said, let's look at our definition. Our definition of logarithm, log base a of x equals some number y if and only if a to the y power equal x. Log base a of x equal y if and only if a to the y equal x. All right, so with that, this defines why logarithms are exponents. So if you look at this definition, it says log holds the value of y. So log base a, some number greater than 0 not equal 1, of x, my input, which is going to be some number here greater than 0, will equal y if and only if a to the y power equal x. Y is the power to which you raise your base to get x. So again, logarithms are exponents. They equal y. Y is the exponent, the power to which I raise a to get what I'm taking the log of. So that's our logarithmic definition. So again, that defines a logarithm. We want to know that. That's probably the most important thing we write down is log base a of x equals some number y if and only if a to the y power equal x. So as you take that, let's do this example here. Log base 3 of 27, what would it equal? So here's a, here's x. So we got log base a of some number x equal to, we want to know y. So remember, a to the y power must equal x. So our question is this, 3 to what power, right, my base is 3, will give me 27. Well, we all know that 3 cubed is 27. So if we go in here, we can see our logarithm, right, is going to be holding a value of 3. Right? We know that 3 to the third power, 3 cubed, is 27. So yeah, that equals 3. So log base 3 of 27 equals 3, because 3 to the third power is 27. So again, log base 2 of 8, right? What would it equal? It would equal 3, right? Yeah, that's why, because 2 cubed is 8, right? If we had log base 4 of 64, what would it equal? It would equal 3, because it's 4 cubed is 64. Right, what's log base 5 of 25 going to equal? It's going to equal 2, because 5 squared is 25. So our question is, what power, what exponent do you raise your base to get x? That's a logarithm. Now, just like exponential functions, If a is greater than 1, the function is always increasing. If a is a number greater than 0 and less than 1, the function is always decreasing. So again, it's always increasing or decreasing. It's a one-to-one function. Domain, we mentioned domain restrictions. The input variable is some number greater than 0. Our range is our outputs, right? Our y values, which is all real numbers. So if you notice, these are opposite of what we have with our exponential definition. So if you remember on an exponential, right, I'm going to write back over here on the side, right, if we had f of x equal to a to the x power, where a is greater than 1, right, we had a domain, right, of all real numbers, right, and we had a range of all numbers greater than 0 because we had that horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Well, we're the inverse now, right? Inverse relationship, because this is going to be our inverse function. So our domain is 0 to infinity, which is what our range was in the exponential. And our range is all real numbers, which is what our domain was on our exponential. We had a y-intercept, right, on a graph of a to the x, a greater than 1, at the point 0, 1, right? Well, now we have the inverse of that. We have a x-intercept. Interchange x and y, and we get to point 1, 0. So 0, 1 becomes 1, 0. So that means the log of 1 is 0. And that's true because what power do you raise your base to get an output of what? 1. You would raise it to the 0 power. So yeah, log of 1 does equal 0 because, again, a to the 0 power is 1. Increases for all x. Now we had a horizontal asymptote with our exponential model. Y equals 0. Well, now we have the inverse relationship of that. Interchange x and y, and we have the statement x equals 0, which is your y-axis, which is your vertical asymptote. It's a vertical line. So again, horizontal asymptote, y equals 0, right, with our exponential models. X equals 0, vertical asymptote with our logarithmic models. And like we have with exponential, continuous and one-to-one. So with that said, just to show the two graphs together, it's nice to see the two graphs since they are inverses of each other. Let's go ahead and graph them together. So if we look at the graph of a to the x, I'm going to graph it first here in black. 0, 1 being the y-intercept, right? A to 0 power is 1. Horizontal asymptote at y equals 0. Increasing for all x, continuous 1-to-1, right? There's our sketch of the graph of a to the x power, a being greater than 1. It's increasing. With that said, let's graph here our next one. Let's put it in blue. Well, if we wanted to graph in the logarithm, we have a x-intercept at 1, 0. And we'll plot the x-intercept point. We now have a vertical asymptote at the line x equal to 0. X equals 0 is our vertical asymptote. And with that said, it's undefined for all values that are less than or equal to 0. So remember, x has to be greater than 0 to take the value of a logarithm. So it won't ever touch the y-axis, because that's where x equals 0. It won't ever be negative. With that said, as we graph that, it's increasing for all x, continuous, 1-to-1. There's a sketch of our logarithmic function. There's f of x equal to log base a of x, right? So you see those two graphs together, which are inverses, right? Domain here, which is all real numbers greater than 0, 0 to infinity, and a range, right, of all real numbers, negative infinity to infinity, which is the opposite of what we have in our graph here in black, right? With this graph, we've got a domain of all real numbers, right, and we have a range of all values greater than 0. So inverse relationship. And we also know, if you remember your symmetry line, you graph in the line y equal x, right? These graphs are symmetrical to that line. Remember, that was your test line for inverse functions. So these are inverses, right? Logarithms and exponentials are inverses of each other. Right? So looking at that, that's the graph there of our logarithmic functions. So let's take a look at a couple of quick examples. Let's sketch the graph of the following log functions and state domain and range. Let's start basic. Example A, what's the graph log base 4 of x? So if we want to graph that, well, it wouldn't take long to graph. Let's just graph it right here beside it. So with log base 4 of x, we've got a x-intercept here at the point 1, 0. We have a horizontal asymptote with our exponentials. We have a vertical asymptote at x equals 0 with our logarithm. So again, this is a basic log model, a log with a base of 4, which is a number greater than 0, not equal to 1. And since it is greater than 1, we know that it increases for all x, continuous, 1 to 1. There's a sketch of our graph here in example A. There's f of x equal to log base 4 of x. Well, now if you take a look at example B, now let's take a look at B, and I'll put this graph in blue. It's our same log base 4 function, so if you want, we can graph it here on the same xy axis as our last one, because we already got our parent model. We have two changes. We know the plus 2, of course, is a horizontal shift to the left 2 units, right? So let's write down our transformation. So we'd shift left 2 units, we're beginning to sketch this graph, right? So if we go left 2 units, let's put it over here. 1, 0 is going to move over here to negative 1, 0, right? That's left 2 units. So right now, our graph, right, would have that shape here, pushing it to the left 2 units. Now, that also changes our vertical asymptote. So our vertical asymptote would no longer be at 0, it'd be over here at negative 2. So we have a horizontal shift, we affect our vertical asymptote. So it goes vertical at that location, gets closer and closer and closer, won't ever touch it, undefined there. Which defines your domain, right? Domain is negative 2 to infinity here, all values greater than negative 2. And then you got a vertical shift. We know that minus 3 means we got to take our graph, subtract 3 from every y coordinate. We got to move it down 3 units. So negative 1, 0, if we go down 3 units, we'd be down here at this ordered pair of negative 1, negative 3. And again, our graph going vertical at negative 2. And that's enough to sketch it in now in blue. But you see your graph there. Now as we're analyzing domain and range, I'll put it right here above it. Our domain ties in directly with our vertical asymptote. All x values greater than negative 2, so we have vertical asymptote at negative 2. And of course our range is all real numbers. And that's true for all logarithms. That's our y values, our outputs. Right? But again, there's a restriction on x. So it's the opposite of exponentials, where we have restrictions on y based off the horizontal asymptote. So you can see your graph, sketch those pretty easily with using transformations.